Okay, hello my friend. Hopefully you are doing great. So welcome back to the tutorial session. So today I'm gonna share you a very interesting topic. Um, it is about string in Java. I am very, you know, sometimes something of, you know, um, afraid for these lessons. It's not hard, but there are some tricky, and I'm just afraid that if I um, cannot explain for you clearly enough, so you will face uh, some difficult things when you hands-on and create the application yourself. So I will try my best, but don't worry, I will work with you through step by step. So about a string, so if you come back here, we are talking about how to declare a string. So if you come back to Oracle documentation for Java uh, standard edition 8 here, and you see we have around 13 constructor to create a string. So what is a constructor? So we will talk about constructor more in OOP lessons, but now you can understand that we have around 13 or more than that 13 constructor, and that means we have some more way to create a string. So I will introduce you two ways that is commonly used in Java. We call it the string literal. You see the first slide here. So we declare with a keyword string here and the name of the variable equal, and you assign directly a string, and this is now with double quotes here, you see, and we call this way is string literal. And on the second line, the way we use the new keyword operator here, string, that means we are using one of these constructor, and we supply the string here. So a string is now covered by a double quotes, not a single. So a single quotes will be for a character that you already knew. So we call this the way we create this. We create a new string object, and we call this a string literal. So the contents here is the same for my name and my underscore name here, but actually they are different, and we will talk about that at the end of the lesson, and I will clarify for you. So just go back to the shortcut and you create a new package with the name lesson 8. And we have a class name string learning here like before, so I don't need to do step by step for you anymore. You are now an expert, right? How to create. So inside the main method, let me go through one by one. So declare a string as a literal. We will talk about how to declare a string as literal first, okay? And then we will talk about declare a string by the new keyword later. For example, I will declare a string like my URL equal https //techeasy.io here. So this is the way we declare. So how can I know how many characters inside this string? Because technically a string is a sequence of characters. So let's see how many characters inside this string. We can set the string length by using the, let me print out first. So we will have something like string length is, and I want to supply a number here. So let me change it back to print format, and I will accept the length of a string by using, I call this the string variable, and then I use dot notation, and you can see there's a lot of method inside. We can use length, you see, length. So if you run this program right now, you can see string length is 17. That means we have a 17 character inside this string. So this is the way we get a string length. So how can we check for existing character or a substring? Let's fly down. So we can print something like, let me check something like my URL dot, and I want to get index of here. Index of something. So inside the index up here, you can supply a string. You see, a string or an integer, something like that. So in this case, I want to use the index up, and I want to check for a particular character. That's the string io dot io, something like that, dot io, to make sure that we have this domain name. Okay, and I will print this out. So it will return, if you see here, it will return an integer. So what does that mean? That means if this string or substring is existing in the target string, it will print out the index. So a string is an array of characters. So you already knew about array. So when I tell you index, that means the position. So it will print out the index of this substring. So this substring will start with the position of the dot notation here. So if we have it, in case we don't have that substring, for example, let me do something like, okay, let's talk about this first. So if we don't have this substring in the target string, it will print out a number that's less than 0. Because why? The first position will be start at the 0. So less than 0 will be a concept that's to indicate that substring is not existing in this target string. So because if you return an integer, so let's see something like integer is, I can see something like index of io equal, and I want to print it out, so short. So the index of io is, and I want to change to print format here. I will supply the value here, and I run this program again. So it turned back for me 14. So this means this substring is existing in this target string, and the index of the dot is now 14. And you see the total is 17, so the dot is 14. That makes sense, right? 14, 15, 16. Why is 16? You already knew about from the array, right? So the length is 17. So the last index, it should be the length minus 1 is the 16 here for the old letter, okay? So in case you do something like index of something else, right? And so you put something like ABC inside, and you print out something in index of ABC, and you will supply the value from index of something. You will see this will be less than 0, maybe minus 1. So you run this program again. So you see index of ABC is minus 1. So that means this substring ABC is not existing in the target string. This is the way you check, okay? So substring get a substring from a string. So how to get a substring from a target string? We will use the index. So for example, I want to get just domain name, not protocol here. So how can I do that? So I see that I will start from this index 0, right? So index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So the end of this protocol is at 7, and the start domain name will be at the index 8, right? And the 8, and it will end up the length -1. So I will have something like a substring, like the domain name equal my URL dot substring. I will use the method substring, and I will supply two indexes inside. So the first one should start with 8. So that means I will start from this one, and the second one should be start from my URL dot length -1. That means the last here. So I can guess this substring, right? So let's print out like my domain name is, and I supply something like, okay, let me enter to the new line here, %n, d, %n, and I will supply domain name here to see whether I can get TestEasy.io out. We run the program again. So what is the error? We got illegal format convention exception. Okay, so it's not a number anymore, but it's a string. So put as %s. So we have something, my domain name is TestEasy.I. So it will not get the, oh, okay. I see. So that mean when you get something, let's go back here. So that means this will end up here and up here. So this means if we end up this one, it will cut it down. Okay, so we end up the my URL length, not my URL length -1. Redundant. I don't know, it's called redundant here. So let's see, just put only one parameter, what happened? So we have TestEasy.io. Oh, so that means it's already subblocked here. Let me open the substring with only one begin index here. Let's see inside, and sublength equal value dot length. The value is the string, I think, the string value target and the length. And okay, so this is the sublength. Okay, so this method already support for us. If we just input the beginning index, so it will do the rect for us. So it will understand that we want to cut from this position to the end. But in case you forgot and you put something like that, the length, so you will face no error, and you will produce the same result here, nothing different. So you see, so it's called redundant. That means it's not necessary to do this. Okay, so you can boost this one or you can delete. So in case you just want to get the name here, so you can see should be the length -3, right? So should be my URL dot length -3, and I run again, I will get that easy only. So you see, okay, so the beginning and the end in that. So how to trim a string? Okay, so let's declare another string here, string like string with some spaces as beginning equal. So we will have something like space, 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 and then I will have something like TOE space, space, space. So I will print out something first. I need to get the length first. So let's print out something like the length of TOE string before trim is percentage D, percentage N, and then I will put something like string with space it as beginnings and the ends as well. So I will put something like length, enter. After that, I will use something like string dot trim. Okay. So I will trim it, and I will assign to another string with the name after TOE name after trimming equal this one. Okay, and then I will copy this one. I put here. So the length of TOE string after trim is, and I will push this string to see what's the difference. Okay, so if you trim the spaces before and after, this is the main purpose, the purpose of trim here. Okay, so you run it and you will see the results. So the length before you trim, that's nice because if you include the spaces here, so one space, that means it will be counted as a character in the string. So after you trim before and after this string, we have the length for this string is 3. That makes sense. Okay. So how can replace all? So for example, I have something like TO. Let's say I have something like for somehow I got a typo here. It's not E, but the R from the keyboard, and I want to replace this one to E. So how can do that? So I guess I will put a string TOE replace string equal string with some spaces at beginning, and then I will use replace methods here. I want to replace the R character with the E character. After that, I want to trim it and then I print it out. Okay, so I will show system format here after replacing is, and it should be a string. Enter to the new line, and I will call TOE replaced string dot trim, enter, and I run it again. So after replacing is TOE, you see? So it's TRO. So it's now TEO because I already replaced the character R with the character E here. So that makes sense. So for example, I put 2R here. 2R here. Okay, 2 character R here, and I run, and you will see the difference. So we have TEOE. So that means it will face any R, it will replace for any E. Okay, by default. So let me remove it here. So to lowercase to uppercase. Okay, so let me try to print something out. So print something like I want to call my URL to up dots to uppercase, and I want to turn out every single character in the my URL to be uppercase. Okay, it's easy to understand, right? So you see all are uppercase, you see, or uppercase. So in the same way, I want to turn it to something like or to lowercase. So let me try to put something S here. You see, S here is not uppercase, and I want to print something to lowercase. So my URL to lowercase here, and I run again. You will see everything to be lowercase here. You see? Okay. So a small example to track character in string. I don't think we need this one. Combine two string. Okay, how to combine two string? For example, I will declare a string. The first string will be the something like protocol equal HTTP8. Okay, something like that. And string something like default slashes equal double slash here, and string domain name equal TextEasy.io, TextEasy.io here, and I want to compile these three strings to one like my URL. Okay, so how can I do that? The first way, domain name. So it seems we already have domain name somewhere. Yeah, I think. Oh, here we already declared at the top. So we can try to put something like domain. Try to put like a snack case here for variable domain name here. And the first way that you use the addition operator. So we have the string first, full website link. Okay, equal. So should be protocol plus. So you use the plus operator here, plus default slash it, and plus the domain name here. And you can do the second way, that is, let's call something like second. This is the first, so should be the second here. Second full website link equal protocol, and then I will use the concat method here. I will put the default slash it, and then after that I will use the concat again, and then I will put finally the domain name here. So in two ways I will produce the same result. So try to print system out the first website and the second full website link. So you will see the results. So in two cases, we can see the same result is produced here, you see. So you can use this one, or you can use concat method. So it will return for you the same result when you want to combine two or more strings. So how to compare two string literal? Okay, so how to compare two string literal is very interesting here, and as I promised, I will tell something for you at the end. So let's see something like that. Okay, so I will print out something is TOE name and TOE name equal. Okay, and I will print out something like plus. Okay, let me declare something like a string TOE name here equal TOE, and string TOE name here equal TOE. So I will use plot with something. Let me declare something like pooling is same content equal. So TOE name here equal. You already knew about double equal to compare to string to value, right? So we will check in this case. So equal TOE name underscore here, and then I will put here to see what's in the result. So you see they are the same, right? And we will see whether they are the same. So yeah, true, right? So you see they are true. So let's say something here. So you see this one is something like the same string here, right? Let me copy this one and let me try to do something like a string post website full link equal this one, and I want to do something like full link is same website equal. Again, I want to compare this third website full link with what equal this second full website link. So you already knew that the second full website link here has the same contents with the third website link here, right? There's nothing different, but try to print out to see what is the result. Okay, so is website linked same? Should be is same website here, and you run it. Oh, false. So what's it happening? So we have the same contents here. You see, it's nothing different, and you already track that. For example, TOE, and they're equal is 2. So why it is false in this case, right? So try to open the concat here to see what happened inside. So the concat method here will return a new string. And you see the third website full link here. Sorry for the typo, I mean full link. So the third website full link here is declared by a string literal, while the concat here will return a new string. So even they are the same contents, but when we use the double equal size here to compare, the result will be false. So what is the root cause? Just come back to the slide here. I already prepared something to explain for you. So here, this is the way Java works with string literal and a new string object. So for example, I define the first string is cat here, and it will put to something like string pool in the Java heap here memory. And if I declare another string with the same contents by using string literal cat here, so Java virtual machine will look at the string pool, and because we already had the cat value here, so it will reference here. So you see, come back to our code. So in this case, those two variable TOE name and TOE underscore name here, they point to the same memory cell here. So you can call something like memory cell here. So that means they are equal. Okay, the same memory location here, so they are equal. So you can compare something like that here. But the different thing here that when you create an object with the new keyword, if you put something out of the string pool, so that means every time you call the new keyword, if you create a new object outside of string pool, so you don't have any reference like this. So when you see something like this, the second full website link returns for us a new string. So that means we will have another object, and even the contents is the same. They are different in the memory location. So that means we cannot use double equal sign here to compare them. So that's why we got the result false here. So how can we compare them in this case? Let me turn out something like test website fooling dot equal. Here you see second fooling. So I use the method equal. So what's inside the equal? So you see it's now override the equals methods from the class object. You will know what's the override later, but let me try to work through to explain for you. So you see this slide is will do the same thing. Like we will use the two equal size here, like to track whether they are in the same memory location. If they are the same memory location, that means they are the same, right? If not, it will compare each character in the strings on those strings. So there's a little difference. So in case even you don't have they're in the same memory location, but after that you continue to compare one by one. You first compare the length. If the length is not equal, so that means they are not equal. That makes sense. But if the length is equal, then they will compare one by one character inside between those two strings. And after all, if it's matched perfectly, it will return true. So in this case, we are expecting the result true if we use the equals methods here. So if you run again, it will be true technically. So you see true now. So you, as a summary, you cannot compare two string objects. So you see two string objects by double equal size here, but you need to use the equals. So what is the best way to compare when you don't know the target string is created by string literal or a new keyword? So in that case, I think I suggest you to use the equals, because equals will include this one. So you don't need to care about that. So if you change something like this one, it will work as well. Sorry. Should be equals, and let me put something here inside. So it will work as well. So you see, true. Because they are string literal, so they are in the same memory location, and this equals will end up here and return true immediately. But in the second way here, you will see is same website. Okay, anyway, it's just a succession. It's always true. Okay, they already checked it. So in the second way here, you will see we have a string literal here, and we compare with a string object here, returning from the concat method. So that means it will process here. So that makes sense, okay? Let's continue. So convert string to number using value of something like that. Okay. I don't think it's necessary right now, because we still have a lot of example with string for the next lessons. I mean next tutorials, how we can do it from the next tutorials. So what you need to remember in this tutorial is just two things. The first thing, the way you declare and how to process some basic operation with string here. And the second thing is that is very important to distinguish the difference between a string literal and a string object by something like the new keyword. Okay, if we use the new keyword here to create a new string, that's it will return a new object from the memory location for us. So it will be different. Okay, so pay attention on that. So okay, let me see. Okay, I think it's all for today's lesson, and try to keep practicing and see you from the next tutorial. Okay.